Hello. All right, so today's Friday, and you know what that means. Today is building day, and it's also the day that the Katahdin Learning Project comes and spends a good chunk of the morning with the kids in kindergarten. So, yes, today's building day for you. Spend a lot of time outside building and having fun. And another thing that I would like you to work on today is one more page for your bird report. Today in class, after I finally got all of the kids on Art for Kids, which was quite a task, they spent a good majority of the time practicing drawing the birds that they chose, the birds that they wanted to write their reports on, and then drawing pictures of the bird's habitat around their new drawings. Now, if you're wondering what is a habitat is simply the scientific word for saying where does the animal live. Not all animals have the same habitat, right? Does a shark have the same habitat as a lion? Let's think about that. Do lions and sharks live in the same place? Besides planet Earth, which I had a kindergartner once say, yes, they do, Mrs. Lewis. We all live on planet Earth. Yes, we all live on planet Earth, but our actual habitat, the things that we need in our living space in order to survive, is very, very different compared to certain animals. A shark's habitat is very, very, very different from a lion's habitat. A bird's habitat is very, very, very different from a goldfish, right? So, some animals have very similar habitats and some don't. And you guys all picked different birds. And I already know right off the bat, the Sky, your bird is a flamingo. Your bird lives in a very different habitat than my bird, the penguin. Totally different. Okay? So your job is going to be to get out your text again, whether it's an actual book that you have, or you have to go on Epic and find a book to read and listen to. You're going to be listening for certain words, like the word live. They might actually even use the word habitat, all right, which is going to tell you what your animal's habitat is, what your bird's habitat is. So, I scanned through this. Look, here's my table of contents. And page 3, it says, what is a penguin? And then the very next page, page 4, it said life in the cold, or living in the cold. So I suspected, that if I move to page 4 and I read the heading here that says life in the cold, I might find out where penguins live. Let's see. Some penguins live in Antarctica, the coldest place on Earth. Most of the land is covered in thick ice and snow all the time. These penguins are standing on a huge floating block of ice called an iceberg. Well, I guess I know the kind of habitat a penguin needs to live. Cold, snowy, ice covered. There's even the place right there, Antarctica. Some penguins live in Antarctica. I better write that. I think so. So, if I want to sound like a smart scientist, and I do, I had better make my writing sound really good. So I'm not just going to say Antarctica. Because then the reader's going to be like, Antarctica what? What do you mean by just Antarctica? So what I'm going to say is penguins. I already know how to write penguins, and if you don't know, it's right on the front of your book, most likely. Penguins, starting all the way over at the left. Live. Oh, that doesn't quite look right. You know why? Because I just read it in my book and I see an E at the end, even though that's a bad King Ed. He's not making I say her name. Penguins live in, notice how I put a space after penguin and a space after live. And then I have a nice big space here, but it's not quite enough to write all of those letters for Antarctica, is it? No. So you know what I'm going to do? Return sweep all the way back over here. And I am going to copy the word Antarctica right out of my book. I'm going to put my finger on it so I don't lose it. A N T A R C T I C A. Antarctica. That's a hard word to say. Penguins live in Antarctica. Period. But you know what else I want? I want to add something even more. Because this told me a lot. And I know that it talked about snow and ice, and that's important, especially for penguins. So it seems to me like they need snow and ice to live. So penguins live in Antarctica. They live, let me see, how do I want to make it so it sounds scientific. Penguins live in Antarctica. They need snow and ice. No, maybe they don't need snow and ice. Maybe they prefer it, but they don't actually need it. Let me go back to my text and listen to it again. If you are reading it yourself, wonderful. If you're listening to it, even better. Most of the land is covered in thick ice and snow. Penguins live in Antarctica. I'm going to say they like ice and snow. Seems to me I can say that. They, it's the, and then a Y at the end to make it they, like ice and snow. Period. Okay. Now I'm going to have to work on my picture, right? Oh, I forgot something too. What is this page about? Their habitat. So we're going to write that out top, and you can copy mine. Hab. Habitat. 3 syllables. Habitat. Okay, I'll put a line. Okay, I better get my crayons and start coloring some ice and snow on this white paper. That's going to be fun. All right, so that's your job. Page 2, animal reports. Tomorrow we're going to work on page 1. You're a step ahead of us. We're going to work on food tomorrow. You're going to work on habitat. You can also continue working on art for kids, becoming masters of drawing flamingos and such. And have fun at building time. If you played Happy Numbers today, it would be a good idea to play Teach Your Monster to Read. If you're having problems with either of those apps, please let me know. I'll be checking progress on them soon. And I think that is it for Friday. Post to Seesaw any new adventures and buildings that you want to show me. Okay, bye.